Some things are better left unsaid. My mother used to tell me that all of the time. She tried to mean it well, that if you had nothing nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. The thing is, in the formative mind of a child, that statement is taken literal, perhaps too literal. Words become gold to this child, and they feel as if they have a limit to what they can say. I was like that for a while, kept words close to my chest. In fact, that's the way I navigated the world until ever recently. Then, well, something changed. You see, the events that occurred in that small town of Lockton's Inlet will undoubtedly be characterized in a negative light. Things will be spun in a way that I don't feel is right. The events were no doubt a veritable whirlwind of trauma, of suffering, but it was not suffering and trauma that came from nowhere. It was a wound that festered, corrupted, and rotted underneath the band-aid that life constantly placed upon it. So allow me to be the first to welcome you, not to my story, but to the truth. Relax and see what truly occurred in those fateful days. At the very least, it won't be boring. To start our fateful story, we must rewind. In the grand scale of things, 2 years isn't all that much, but when we consider the events that would occur, 2 years seems like an eternity. You see, our story doesn't begin in its natural starting point. Our story begins in the past, where friendship was paramount and people were kind. There were no jagged words, there was nothing left unsaid. Once upon a time, there lived 4 friends. Myself, my brother Cecil, Nico, and his sister Maya. We were thick as thieves, and there seemed to be nothing that could threaten to tear us apart. That was until the girl with the flaxen hair arrived. She was the girl. Everyone desired her, an educated girl, had her master's in environmental law. She wanted to be a lawyer to protect the environment. Instead, she found it fit to sit around town smoking pot and destroying friend groups. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You see, our friend group had a particular dynamic. Our relationships had been forged over time, and despite constant insistence, we never let anyone join us. We were the team. But this girl, she was everyone's type. And I mean everyone. Suddenly, it stopped being about us, but rather Aurora this, Aurora that. She became the center of attention. It doesn't matter that she tried to push that away. It happened anyways. It's all her fault. Not only was it Nico and Cecil that were in love, but also the dynamic changed. Where we cared mostly about having fun, chilling out, suddenly it became about the environment. We finally have purpose, my brother exclaimed. We can do something to make a difference, Nico said. Whatever we can do to help you, Aurora, Maya said. But I didn't want this. My father was the person that they were protesting against. My father, say what you will about him, but he was family, and I was not going to cast him aside because some upstart bitch said so. I tried. Yeah, I tried convincing my once friends to follow me, to go back to the way things were, but no. They decided that what was best was helping this girl. Oh, Aurora tried to pretend that she cared. She tried to understand my plight, but it was all fake. She simply pitied a lesser being, the same way we see an end. I left and went my own way, and I never spent time with my friends again. Did they miss me? I think it was quite the opposite. They smoked, they hung out, they drank, everything that we used to do. But I was replaced by Little Miss Perfect, who stole not only my best friend, but my brother and the love of my... But let the pieces fall, my dad used to say. So I waited, and soon Maya came back. She had left for a while, and I I will explain later, but for now, all you have to know is that for a moment, I had hope. I had this infectious feeling of utter joy that finally there was a chance that I could. Aurora saw her. And despite Maya's issue, Maya fell in love with her all over again. Not once did Maya look my way, and it was all because of her. Here it was, this girl who threatened everything that my family has stood for 100 years, and now she took the girl that I loved not once, but twice. So I did what any sane person would do. I think it's better than she deserved. However, let me say that Aurora was not the first person that received righteous punishment. Before her, there was Nico, Maya's older brother. Nico never liked me, but he dealt with me because Cecil was his best friend. They knew each other from elementary school, and, well, Cecil was like the brother that Nico never had. That's the thing about Nico. He constantly complained about things when everything he could have ever wanted was just beneath his nose. He complained about wanting a brother, but had gotten a stepsister that loved and cared for him more than anything else in the world. He said that he desired purpose, but complained that he lived a life that was completely devoted to Maya. This was the man that Nico was. Angry, always looking for something that didn't exist, but very much did. He just didn't see it. He would often complain that Maya was annoying, that she was a people pleaser, that she always wanted to be the center of attention. He couldn't have been more wrong. If Maya did any of those things, it was because she wanted Nico to notice her, because he never did. And when he did, it was always in anger and resentment, and eventually a gulf appeared between them. Soon, they were cloven, never to return again. You see, when Aurora came, Maya felt discarded. Nico had become completely devoted to the cause and to Aurora. His attention diverted away. Maya tried. She tried to be a good little enviro cop, but nothing she ever did ever stole away attention from the perfect girl that was Aurora. So Maya came to hate Aurora, came to despise her. Why she would let her fall in love with her, I shall explain in a moment. But Nico's resentment and anger would eventually lead Maya away from them. And finding purpose through journalism, she got a job at a newspaper owned by my father's company. And that is what led her to me. Those days of my life were the best. I felt as if my heart was on fire every single moment that I was with her. Some might say that she was using me to get back at Nico. But I never felt that. I only ever felt passion, true passion. Perhaps I am a fool. Regardless, a vote came to be, and in that vote it would determine whether or not my father's company would scout the inlet. Apparently some lost pirate treasure was buried underneath the sand. Only issue, it would kill much of the wildlife there. So, of course, the environmentalists tried their hardest, and, well, they would have equaled the vote, even with Maya with us. So I did what anyone would do to help their family. Perhaps he's regretting his actions now, huh? No, the part of the story that I hate to tell, but I must. After Nico was found dead, Maya put two and two together and realized that it had been me or somebody connected to my father, so she left and voted against the scout, tying the vote and stopping us from scouting the cove. She lived away for 2 years. She had decided that it was better to run away from everything until one day, randomly, while driving she got into a car crash. The damage was severe, so severe that she completely lost all of her memories. The doctor told her to return to a childhood home to perhaps kickstart those memories, and Maya did. She came back to Lockton's Inlet. She had forgotten everything. From her figuring out her brother's murder, to her fights with her brother, her friendship and eventual hating of Aurora, and her relationship with me. To her credit, she tried to relearn everything, and I tried my hardest to. Well, I wanted things to be different. I wanted her to love me without any baggage, to love me completely and wholly so that there would be no issues. So I told her a refined history. I told her it was the truth, just maybe not what happened entirely, but it was the truth that I know that even she would have wanted. Nevertheless, that witch, Aurora, found her and told her her own personal truth. Aurora lied to Maya, told her that she was always part of the friend group and she'd only left because Nico had killed himself. Aurora convinced Maya that they fell in love, and suddenly, all at once, it was like when Maya first left, all over again. Without any of the history of what happened, Maya fell in love with that harlot and willingly chose to help her, and I was cast aside yet again. But it didn't last. The relationship with Aurora, I mean. Maya has always been inquisitive, so one day she went to the library and rediscovered everything. She confronted Aurora, and Aurora told her the truth. Told her of me and Maya's relationship, told her of her and how she and Nico fought all the time, told her that Nico was probably killed by me. Obviously, Maya was distraught, and she left in an instant and she ran off then and there and came to me. She told me that she knew everything. She told me that she was going to do whatever it took to see me and my family burn and to stop the scouting no matter what. To her credit, she was remorseful about everything that she did. She regretted the person that she was. But I couldn't let her hurt my family. I couldn't let her. So I did what any person would do. So I hope. Perhaps his role in the story might seem insignificant, but his role in the events of my life are beyond grand. Cecil was my guiding light, my North Star. He showed me what it meant to be a good man. He never faltered in his beliefs, and even though I felt hurt when he sided with the environmentalists over his family, I respected him for it. For casting away wealth and prestige for something he believed in. If there were any of that group that truly believed in that bullshit, it was Cecil. Cecil never faltered, but he did blame himself for Nico's death. He felt caught between two worlds, even despite everything he felt. He felt some sort of duty to his family, to me. And he tried desperately to reach me, but beat your head enough into a brick wall and you're gonna get tired of it. When Maya returned, he was angry. blaming her for Nico's death, but as soon as he realized that she had forgotten everything, he was the first to say that they should tell her the truth. Of course, Aurora disagreed, stating that Maya is finally her true self, and this is the way she would have acted if not for all of that baggage and familial drama. To the end, Cecil disagreed with Aurora, and when Maya eventually, when she turned up dead, Cecil blamed, not Aurora. Being the honorable guy that he is, he blamed himself. He said that he could have gotten plenty of incriminating files from the estate years ago, that he could have gone recently, he could have stopped any of this from happening. He said that it was all his fault, and now he had planned to rectify it. So he came, took the files, and then escaped into the woods. I chased, of course. I was worried about my family's future, and I caught up. Cecil tried to remind me of the days of our past, of how he used to protect me from our father, how he cared so deeply for me, and he reminded me of the man I was before our mother died. I agreed with him when I said that I wish I could return to those summer nights of drinking cream soda, eating corn dogs, and playing video games until our eyes were burning. I still wonder if he knew that I had killed Aurora before walking into those woods just before seeing him. But regardless of what he reminded me of, regardless of the memories we shared, he had everything in the palm of his hands. He controlled his future, my future, and our father's. Everything that I could have ever known would come crumbling down. So I did what any sane person would do. I did what anyone would do. I'm